I hope everyone had a very, very beautiful Chag HaSukkot, Zman Simchasenu. It was a beautiful Chag here in Eretz Yisrael. And we also, in my family, we had a beautiful Simcha. My oldest daughter, Esti, and her husband, Matan, had their fourth child, a boy, born on Hoshana Rabbah, Sumit Hashem, this Friday night. We'll have a Shalom Zachar, a Bris Mir Hashem on Sunday. So really, really, really special time. I can't believe it's already Parashat Bereshit. We begin the cycle once again, and there's so much to talk about in Parashat Bereshit. I want to share with you a very, very profound and beautiful idea that is found in the Rabbeinu Bechaya. Rabbeinu Bechaya notes on the second day of creation, as all the Mefarshim point out, it does not say Kitov. The pasuk tells us in Perak Aleph pasuk Vav, Vayomer Elokim Hi Rakia B'toch Hamayim Vahi Mavdil Bein Mayim Lamayim. So the world is full of Mayim, and Hashem makes this rakia, this heaven, this firmament, something heavenly, something in the sky. Vayas Elokim es harakia, vayavdel ben hamayim asher mitachas l'rakia, ubein hamayim asher me'al l'rakia vayichein. So Hashem divides and separates between the mayim, the upper mayim, the mayim that is above the rakia, and the mayim that is below the rakia. And the Rabbeinu Bechai points out it does not say, and Chazal point out it does not say on the second day Kitov. It says Kitov twice on the third day, but you don't find it on the second day. So Chazal give a number of reasons for this. One possibility is that on this second day, these upper heavenly things were created, including Malachim, yes, but also Gehenim. Gehenim was also created, and therefore not an occasion for saying Kitov. Chazal also tell us that Machlokes was created on day number 2. That's when you have a sense of machlokas. Where do Chazal see this? So they point out, and the Rabbeinu Bechai points out, that here for the first time, we always have this refrain in the creation of Vayavdel. You see this already on the first day. Hashem separates Vayavdel Elokim bein ha'or u'bein ha'choshech. And here once again, Vayomer Elokim Yirakia Vayhi Mavdil bein Mayim Lamayim. Says Havdalah, there's separation, there's differentiation, there's distinction. But here for the first time, you have things that should be together. What are we separating? We're not separating between Or and Choshech, disparate concepts. We're separating between Vayhi Mavdil Bein Mayim Lamayim, a single entity. Mayim should cleave to itself. And that's what it normally does. Hashem here has to create a sense of separation of that which is normally together. Chazal understand from that an insight that this is the onset of machlokas. This is the onset of the reality of a Gehenim, where things that are meant to be together are now separate. And Chazal, Rabbeinu Bechai points out that from this day on, the word, this is the second day, Sheni, comes from the lashon of Shanui, differentiation, separation. Once you have two, you have the possibility for disparateness. And Rabbeinu Bechai points out that from here on, every single day of creation, something goes a little bit off. Not everything is going to be 100% perfect. For example, of course, day 6, you have the Chet of Adam, Chava, the Nachash. That's clear. What about the other days? So every single day, something goes a little bit off. So for example, on day 3, where you have the creation of Eitz Oseh Pri, so ideally, it was supposed to be that the bark of the tree, the eitz of the tree, was supposed to taste like the fruit itself. And it was a kind of rebellion, Chazal tells us. Rashi brings us down, where the eitz is no longer operating as it should. It tastes different than the fruit itself. Something starts to go off in the creation process. Day 4, the Ma'oros, the heavenly bodies. So once again, you have this machlokas, if you will, between the moon, the sun. The moon says, how can you have two entities that are lording over? That doesn't make any sense. There has to be one ruler. And for that, the moon gets diminished, gets reduced. That's day 4. Day 5, you have the story of the Taninim Hagdolim, and one of the Taninim is going to be, if you will, killed off. They would have somehow, these tremendous leviathans, these great sea creatures, would have had a deleterious impact on the world, and of course on day 6. So there is this process starting from day 2 of differentiation, of shinui, of machlokes, where things do not operate as they're supposed to be. And then you get to what I'm going to call the final day of creation. The command of Adam and Chava, which is at the end of day 6, and then Shabbos. What is the command of Adam and Chava? So they're commanded, Zachar Nekeva bara osam, and the mission is, Al Kain, Ya'azov Ish Esaviv ve'esimo, V'davak bi'ishto, V'yu lebasar echad. Perhaps the mission of man and woman, of mankind, is to go ahead and somehow cure this internal and inherent and purposeful defect in the creation, where things are differentiated. Things don't always work according to plan. There is machlokes, and somehow man and woman, husband and wife, who are so different from each other, Zachar Nekeva, man leaves his parents, a woman leaves her parents, and V'davak bi'ishto, V'hayu lebasar echad, and they, two disparate individuals, can cure this so-called defect in creation and become one, become unified, become harmonious. And that leads us directly into Shabbos, because Shabbos is one of the Yemei Bereshit, is one of the days of creation, but it's a day of total harmony. Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch points out that every single day is paired with another day. Day 1 is the creation of light and darkness, is paired with day 4, sun and moon, where light and darkness are now reflected in the sun and the moon created by those heavenly bodies. Day 2, where you have the creation of, as I mentioned, heaven and seas and waters. So that parallels day 5, the creation of fish and the creation of birds who dwell in the sky and in the water. Days 3, which is the creation of Yabasha. So that parallels those who dwell on Yabasha, the animals and man who will live on Yabasha. Shabbos has no partner, has no day that it links into, because Shabbos is that unifying force that goes ahead and binds together, harmonizes all of the Bria. That's the concept of Me'ein Olam Haba. Shabbos is to be a Me'ein Olam Haba, a day of harmony, a day of unification, where we're not struggling with disparate forces, where Ish v'Ishto are 100% bonded, where they can be Basar Echad, create a new human being, and have that sense of total harmony in being Hashem's partners in the creative process, and really, if you will, curing the imperfect creation which we now partner with Hashem in going ahead and doing so. That's this insight of the Rabbeinu Bechaya, embellished a little bit, but that's the idea, is to go ahead and create. Our tafkid is to create harmony in this world. And that's really the mission of marriage, of taking two disparate individuals and bonding them together. That's the mission of Shabbos Kodesh, of bringing that sense of achdus, of harmony, of v'hayu lebasar echad into this otherwise very, very complex world. And that's a deep message that's embedded in the creation story. From that one concept that Chazal tell us, that Hashem was mavdil bein mayim lamayim, the introduction of machlokes. So you have this challenge and this opportunity to go ahead and now bring the mayim together, bring people together, bring harmony into this world. We should be zocheh to do so. Have a beautiful and wonderful Shabbos Kodesh.